Good morning. Thanks for joining us for the News 12 FastCast. I'm Nick Proto. It's 7:30 on our Wednesday, March 19th. The future of Wagner's fire department has finally been settled. Since most of the staff quit in November, leaders in surrounding counties worked to make sure emergencies were still being handled. After multiple council meetings, a decision has been made on what to do next. They decided the Wagner Fire District will be under a 6-month probation period. That 6 months will lead up to when the contracts of surrounding fire departments need to be renewed. The fire department had enough support from leaders, but also the community, with a petition with more than 400 signatures to save District 16. Aiken County leaders say the contract in these 6 months is almost identical to the one the Wagner Fire Department previously had, allowing the fire district to cover 95 square miles and help out any neighboring departments.
There's so much when it comes to a volunteer fire department as far as certifications and equipment and everything else, and it's a lot to keep up with. But they've assured us that they're going to be able to do that, so we're behind them. We're behind them 110%.
Adrian Pilot, the interim fire chief, says this decision allows him and his team to do what they want to do, provide for their community. Augusta's old jail could have turned into a justice center or an innovation hub. Instead, the site's an empty lot. About 5 years later, space sits next to Gordon Highway. The city ordered a study to be conducted to figure out what the land could be used for, commercial land, residential land. The results have been returned, and it's neither. It found the development in that area is a low priority and recommended an innovation hub or park.
We have to see unified city leadership in order to make anything happen here. So that means getting the elected leaders and the staff on the same page, getting the city ready to support a streamlined development process, thinking through the incentives that the city might have to offer, how the city can make it more viable for a developer to come in.
For a short-term solution, the study recommended using the empty space as soccer fields, a farmer's market, or mini golf course. City leaders did not take any action on what they'd like to see. We now know the identity of the victim who died in a crash earlier this week. The Richmond County coroner tells us an 80-year-old man has died after a crash on Deans Bridge Road Monday afternoon. Officials say the victim is Edwin Potter. A person who was in the car with Potter was also sent to the hospital. No word yet on their condition. A boil water advisory beginning today in Warrenville. The Valley Public Service Authority says from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. water service will be interrupted for repairs and maintenance. They say once water is restored, you'll have to boil it for a full minute before cooking with it or drinking it. That advisory will be in effect for 24 hours once the water is restored. The city of Augusta says it's close to finishing Hurricane Helene debris cleanup. As of yesterday, leaders say almost all of Districts 1, 2, 3, and 7 are complete. Districts 4, 5, 6, and 8 are expected to be completed this week. GDOT says it's already finished state route cleanups. City leaders say not to place any more piles on the state right-of-ways. They add bush trimmings and vegetative debris after the storm does not count in cleanup. You have to handle those through the garbage collection. If you think crews missed your storm pile, report it to Augusta 311. Leaders say requests are reviewed on a case-by-case basis. Augusta leaders are taking major steps to get rid of signs on public property. They say those go against city ordinances and could result in a jail time, a fine, probation, suspension of a business license, or having it revoked. Businesses and individuals are allowed to use approved methods of advertising like permitted signs and designated community boards. This is part of an effort to beautify Augusta after pulling up nearly 2,500 signs and trash from Hurricane Helene. The deadline to apply for FEMA Hurricane Helene assistance may have passed, but representatives hosted a Small Business Administration recovery event yesterday. People could apply for assistance, check on their application status, and learn about how the Salvation Army could offer support. The next one will be next Tuesday. You'll find them set up at the Augusta-Richmond County Library from 9 to 4. The groundbreaking for the first tiny home village in Augusta is set for later this morning. The tiny homes will help young people who leave foster care without a family. The homes, built by Beasley Homes and Bridgebuilder Communities, will help provide life skills and support services for them. It'll be at 1030 on Mary Street. Richmond County parents, heads up here. If your child will be 5 years old on or before September 1st, you are encouraged to register them for kindergarten now. It'll be for the 2025-2026 school year. Families with kids currently in pre-K don't need to worry. You do need to hurry, though. Registration just open until March 28th. You can go to our website, wrdw.com, for more information on how to register and find what school your child will be zoned for. That is going to do it from the news side of things this morning. Let's send it over now to First Alert meteorologist Tim Strong on what is expected to be a nice warm day here as we approach that first day of spring.
That's right. We're talking about temperatures that are going to be moving up into the 80s. How about that? 83 degrees for this afternoon. We will see a little bit of a drawback, though, in temperatures come Thursday and Friday. A front moving through that will provide the chance for some rainfall here. But looking also at some cold mornings. We've experienced a few of those already this week. Tomorrow, well, because of the front and clouds, we're not going to be as cold. But give it Friday and Saturday morning, those are temperatures that will be dropping into the 30s. Unfortunately, high pollen count is going to be the way it stays. Even though with a brief period of some rainfall the first half of tomorrow, it will get windy too. Later this afternoon, winds are expected to pick up 10 to 15, moving into that 25 to 30 mile per hour range tomorrow afternoon. But we'll take what rain we can get. It's not going to be a lot, but that'll be the first half of tomorrow. Temp outlook is expected to be average to above average. This is getting into the first week or so of April because we're starting to draw a little closer into the end of March. In fact, looking at rain chances, just talked about how low those are going to be. On Thursday, that's really about it. Over the next 5 days, we'll get a brief cool down, but start warming up in time for the weekend. Now, any other opportunities for rainfall? There doesn't look like we're expected to see a whole lot more than what may just be average. A lot drier outlook in the central and southwest United States. So with our lack of rain coming, well, the drought situation continues to elevate, certainly across a lot of the Carolinas. That's when we're in the moderate to severe drought stages here. Abnormally dry, it's not quite as bad, but still high fire danger is going to be a problem for the next few days. So we get through the rest of this morning. Temp-wise, 70s by noontime, starts to get a little breezy out of the southwest. That's drawing in warm 80-degree weather for today. That line of showers is going to be here first thing in the morning between 6 and 8 a.m. with that cold front finally passing through after midday tomorrow. So our rain chances kind of between 6 in the morning to about midday. Not a lot now. There's not a whole lot of measurable rainfall, but will turn cooler, drier, and windy as we head through 5 o'clock on Thursday afternoon. Colder morning lows are there, 30s, low 30s. In fact, we could be close to freezing on Friday morning, and then afternoon temperatures just kind of stuck there in the mid to upper 60s for both Thursday and Friday. Now that weekend outlook, fantastic. First weekend of spring. Spring officially starts tomorrow. You'd think with temps in the 80s and 70s, we just kind of want that to be today, but it's tomorrow, and we're going to look dry and stay with sunshine straight through to the weekend. Have a great day.